So the property manager came to Baker Group. The project involved replacing the cooling towers on the second tallest building in downtown Des Moines. The biggest challenge for the project was obviously that we're taking 4 pieces of equipment ranging from 3,500 pounds all the way up to 7,500 pounds, taking them from essentially ground level, 7th and Grand, and hoisting them up to the 35th story of the building. What you can't really tell on the building is the 35th story is actually kind of submerged. So the cooling towers that we're installing actually have to go all the way up to 36 and back down into an area well where they permanently sit. Once we'd assembled the information for the cooling towers themselves, so we had an idea of what we were hoisting up there were 3 options that we could go through. The first was a standard crane. There are cranes that will reach to the top of this building, but as we did that research, we realized that it would take a full week to set the crane up, a full week to tear the crane back down, and quite frankly, shutting Grand Avenue down for 2 weeks is not really an option here in downtown. So from that point, we did research and the structural calculations to decide if we could put a derrick crane on the building. A derrick crane essentially gets bolted to the structural steel up on the roof, reaches over the edge of the building, hoists the pieces up from Grand Avenue, and then sets them into their final resting place. There were challenges with that. We found that finding a derrick crane was incredibly difficult. The closest at the time was in Canada. Secondarily, you have to do a bunch of structural work to basically make it happen. We realized the best answer, the shortest duration, and the least impact for not just the owner, but for those that live downtown, was an aerial lift. Through some back and forth with them, we realized that we would likely be able to do that lift start to finish within about 60 minutes. Once the helicopter arrives here, they drop the hook down, we add some rigging to it, and then the first of the 4 picks begins. Once the helicopter moves over top of the building, it will start to hover over there. Once the helicopter lowers that down, because we have to line up the 4 corners, essentially that helicopter has to move within about 1/2 of an inch, one way or the other, to get us to the exact spot. Once it's lowered down and once we get it to that resting spot, we're able to put bolts down through the 2 pieces of equipment. They come together, and any luck, they'll be there for 50 more years. One of the exciting things about this project is that 4 of our trades were actually used during the construction and the rehabilitation of the cooling tower space. Anytime you do work in downtown Des Moines, it's exciting. And quite frankly, to be part of the project itself, it's a once-in-a-career opportunity. And the helicopter lift was part of that, and the project's success is really a reflection of everybody's effort and the coordination that was put together.